How's everybody doing, guys? Today I actually wanted to talk about, a rather serious topic of depression and anxiety, mental health disorders in general. And, well, I'm sure a lot of you guys have been like, oh, enough of this stuff already, because of the whole, DM Brandon incident, things that happened there. Basically, if you haven't seen what happened, I'm pretty sure you can just like Google it or some shit, and you'll and you'll find it. But yeah, that I don't want to like go in depth explaining that because one, I don't want to like get into all that shit or raise any like drama over that. Like we've been talking about it for so long, but the issues that were raised in it are actually really important, and some people have addressed them in their own videos and stuff, and like big people like Philip DeFranco, and another guy that I actually forget his name because I didn't know him previous to this or prior to this video, but um, yeah. So I mean, some people have been addressing it, but I really want to make sure that there's as many like voices out there as possible to address this problem. I don't know if you guys know this, but I talk about it a lot. I'm very open about it on my stream. That I have panic disorder, which is it is an anxiety disorder. It is it's a really difficult thing to go through. Most people, you'll hear the term panic attack thrown around very lightly amongst most of the populace, right? I hadn't, either they'll say like I nearly had a panic attack when this happened, or like I just had a panic attack, just because like they got scared over something, and it's thrown around so lightly that unfortunately kind of takes away from the severity of people that actually have these things regularly. I got on medication for it, and it was corrected. But for years and years, I was miserable because I was having these panic attacks day after day, not understanding at all what was going on. And because I didn't have any outlets, any people telling me that something was wrong, that it wasn't me, and that there was nothing I could have really done about it, because I kept, like trying to will myself, trying to like meditate and do all this shit that, like, I mean, those things help, right? They help with general anxiety. They even help lessen severe anxiety. But if you're having panic attacks constantly, like I was, unfortunately, usually the answer is medication. And it's not really that unfortunate either. I say unfortunately because I've been conditioned my life, as well as I'm sure a lot of people have, to think that medication is a fault, something that you have to be, that you have to feel bad about, or something. Even sometimes now, if I'm having a panic attack, like I won't take the medication sometimes out of like some sort of pride, and it's so dumb. I can't even explain to you how upset it makes me when I realize that I'm doing that, because one, I'm doing a disservice to myself, and I'm suffering through something that I shouldn't be and that I have no control over, and two, it's fucking dumb. Like, if you need it, a lot of people use the analogy, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard it, but if you haven't, that mental health medication is for a person that has a mental health problem or a mental disability, is the same as like a diabetic that needs insulin. And it is a very good quote. It's used so often because it does make a lot of sense. While some people might, like, for political bullshit reasons or something, like disagree with this, it is very much true. Mental health is just as severe and just as important, and just as treatable in many cases as physical health problems, right? Biological problems, because it actually does deal with your biology as well. The mental health often, in my case especially, deals with chemical imbalance in the brain, right? So that's actually something, tangible. That's something that's there, that you can actually, see and understand. So it's not like just obscure and you have no idea, what this problem is. Scientists know what this problem is. Doctors know what what the imbalances are, what kind of chemicals you don't have, if it's like serotonin or a lack of different types of things. I'm sorry that I'm on these videos. Like, I always talk about, I get uncomfortable on them because, like, I'm a full-time streamer. For some reason, I'm never uncomfortable on my stream. I guess it's just I feel so at home. I feel so one with the community and so chill. I'll even just be comfortable enough to just like sit there and fucking eat on stream with you guys sometimes, as much as I have to. I feel the need to apologize for it. It's hard to get up here and like put the full cam on and like talk to you guys in like a very YouTube way. So I probably apologize for any awkwardness on that part, but you'll see me taking deep breaths often because I try to get as much out as I can, so that I don't have awkward pauses. But that aside, basically the reason that I made this video is, one, to dispel rumors about mental health, but mostly the most important thing is to help people, like I said, that might not have outlets to come to terms with the things that are happening to them, or hopefully are not, but very unfortunately a lot of people struggle with mental health problems, especially within gaming communities. I don't know why that is. It might just be that a lot of the world struggles with it, and the gaming community is a large, it's a large model of the actual world, right? There's so many people within it, so like in Twitch chats and things, there's sometimes thousands of people, so there's always a good chance that there's somebody in there that you could be affecting by talking about it. You can either be affecting positively or negatively. In the instance that we saw this last week, it was extremely negative. It was disgusting, honestly. It was some of the most disparaging things I've ever heard. If you ever hear someone tell you that everyone, quote unquote, everyone has anxiety, everyone has depression, like, just tune that person the fuck out. In all honesty, do not ever accept when someone says that to you, especially if you are someone that suffers from anxiety or depression personally, because there's a huge difference, right? There's a huge fucking difference between having an anxiety disorder, or having a disorder that deals with depression, whether it be bipolar disorder, manic depression, or many other things that I can't think of right now. It is not the same as what people go through on a daily, right? It's different from a depression that was caused from like some sort of incident, like you lost your job and now you're feeling like drained and you feel like emotionless. Like, those are extremely serious things, but it is not in any way the same thing as like, hey, you have to pick yourself up and move on and just do it on your own, because you can't. Like, you legit can't do that. As someone that has both the panic disorder, and I was also diagnosed with bipolarity, a smaller case of it that I only had to be lightly medicated for, but something that I was also dealing with on the daily and not understanding at all what was happening to me, until I got very lucky for like a 24-hour doctor place that was like, I thought it was going to be bullshit. They actually helped me more than any therapist I've ever had. And that's why I think that people, like community members, community figures, can sometimes help people more than even their doctors can sometimes, more, especially more than their family or friends can sometimes, that haven't experienced the same types of things that you might be going through. And that's why I wanted to say that it isn't something that you can just rely on family or friends for to get you through. It's something, unfortunately, that you have to realize for yourself, come to terms with, accept, and seek help for on your own. And that is a scary thing. And sometimes you might be lucky. Like, I have my girlfriend who has been the most amazing, accepting, understanding, and caring person that I have ever met, or I think exists on the planet. And she has just, dealt with so much for me and has gotten me through so much. It's absolutely fucking insane. But you just can't say that someone has, like, always has someone that they can, get that kind of help from, because nowhere near everyone is that lucky. Not nearly everyone has friends. You might have acquaintances, or you might have friends that aren't like, gonna be there for you in the same type of way that you need from someone that truly loves you and understands mental disorders as well, or disabilities, or just whatever you're going through. It's very difficult, and it's very rare that you'll find someone like that. So more than anything, I wanted to talk to you guys about this so that I could hopefully help anybody that's going through the same thing. A lot of people, because I'm so open about the anxiety and the depression, or the bipolarity, which causes depression at times, but hasn't anymore because of the medication, right? It's, I don't want you guys feel bad for me, or, I'm not trying to make like a, pity me video or anything. It's more of a success story, and that's why I wanted to make this kind of a video. I don't struggle with the bipolarity so much anymore. The anxiety, as you can tell, yes, but that is something that is deeply, deeply rooted in me, and until I find the right kind of balance of medication, will always be a problem for me. And even then, when you do find the right balance, will be a problem, but it won't be nearly as debilitating as it is now, right? It is now nowhere near as debilitating as it used to be. I couldn't go to school, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't work a normal job. And one thing that I really don't like to admit, but I would like to bring up for the fact that, or for the sake of, there are people that probably are embarrassed to bring certain things up, things that you don't want to talk about, like, depression, anxiety. These are things that are very commonplace now. Unfortunately, very commonplace, but they are. Things that aren't, though, certain issues, like I actually have it's called trichotillomania, which is absolutely ridiculous name, right? Why would you name it that? It's a simple thing too. It's hair pulling, actually, and a lot of people will say, like, hey, NShadow, like, did you get your eyebrows done today or something, and shit like that, as either a joke or they're serious and they think I did get my eyebrows done or something like that. And it's actually, the hair pulling is something that it's nearly like a compulsion, or it is a compulsion. It doesn't mean that I have obsessive compulsion disorder, but it's a compulsion that's rooted in my anxiety, and it's something that I've had to struggle through my whole life and still struggle through and haven't found an answer to. Medications work with that; they help out, but it doesn't completely ever just cure you of it. There's a lot of, like, unfortunate circumstances where there's people that have just, like, removed their hair, like, entirely. It's crazy. Not crazy what they do, it's crazy that this exists, and that we have to suffer through it. But so if you're ever having something like that you're embarrassed about, like, I don't like talking about that. When people ask questions about the eyebrows, things like that, like, unfortunately mine is with my eyebrows. Some people do it with their hair, people do it with whatever, but I just I don't like to talk about that one because it's embarrassing, obviously. But if you have anything like that, I'd strongly encourage that, of course, you get that you get that checked out and you voice that to someone, a therapist, a psychiatrist. Generally, the first step is to go to a therapist and be very open about all your problems. Don't hide anything. Be 100% honest, right, with yourself and with the person that's helping you. And hopefully you have the right kind of person. Be mindful that some people might not have, like, certain people practice medicine differently, but certain people, like, I've gone to therapists that have told me that that medication is bad, and that, like, medication is an awful thing, and it's just like that is so backward, because those people should not be in any sort of medical field, right? Psychiatry is different than therapy because it deals with medication, and for the therapist to be that ignorant of what the psychiatrist's work is, and of what the what the chemical symptoms are of, or not the chemical symptoms, but the chemical factors are of these diseases or of these disabilities, it's just insane. So if you find someone like that, like, shop around a bit. You might need to. I've certainly needed to. Not everyone's going to click with you. Some people might give you a bad vibe or whatever. They're people, Unfortunately, you're not always going to find the right person. Like, teachers are there to teach you, right? But sometimes some teachers are just bad or not the right for you. So I encourage you to seek that out, and then if they say that they think you need medication, or you think that you need medication yourself, then bring that up and talk about it. It's not something that you should ever do lightly, because it's a serious thing going on medication. If you guys can hear my dog barking, I'm going to be very upset. You probably can. I'm sorry, but it's something that you gotta come to terms with. And if you are in that point where the anxiety or the depression or whatever it is you're suffering through is affecting your daily life, and it is debilitating you, which means it's stopping you from going about your daily life and daily tasks pleasantly. Like, it doesn't have but pleasantly, but if you're suffering, and when you're suffering, sometimes you don't, but if you really look and you take a hard look at yourself and you realize, like, some people will say, like, people are crying out for attention by like keeping themselves in, like, a depressive state. and shit, like, and that for is true maybe for some people. It's very rare though, because very rarely is someone going to want to keep themselves in anguish. Like, that is not a common human trait, you know. While it is a problem for some, and some people might be seeking attention through it, like, that is not the norm. And don't ever treat people that have these types of problems like they are seeking attention. Like, if you do that, you are just completely, just, you can be fucking that person over so hard just because you're making the assumption and you're not giving them the actual time of day to, to see what they're saying and understand, right? Or hear what they're saying and understand. So yeah, basically, I said, sorry, it's a little hard to, to circle around the point, but I think you guys hopefully get it. And I hope that this helps people. I honestly just hope that people have come to my stream a lot and have said, that I've been a good figure for them, for someone with a disability that is, still decision. I've always been such a wreck throughout my life that, like, it's unreal to hear people say that. And, like, I don't want to be, like, presumptuous and be like, well, I can help all you guys too, because, I'm sure it's not going to help everyone. But for those of you that I can reach out to and can help, I want to. And you can always feel free to talk to me. I won't be able, if I get, like, flooded with messages, I'm going to help everyone. But for those of you that I can reach out to and can help, I want to. And you can always feel free to talk to me. I won't be able, if I get, like, flooded with messages by this, there might not be, like, an instant reply for everyone, but I will reply. And if it's something really severe, you have to take it upon yourself to get help for it. You can't just rely on friends or family talking you through things, because at a certain point talking doesn't matter anymore and it doesn't help you. So I love you guys. I love you so much, and I hope all of you are good. I hope you're healthy, and I hope you do what it takes to continue to be healthy, or to correct whatever it is that's making you unhealthy, whether it be mentally, physically, or emotionally. Just stay safe and keep this in mind, especially when dealing with others that might have problems like this. Urge them to get help when they need it. It really does help, because no one wants to admit that they have a problem, one, and no one wants to seek help. It's a scary thing. So, sometimes don't push someone, don't force them, but, encourage or help them understand that it's okay. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching.